NERF.
Hey guys, it's Zane here again, and I'm here with another NERF gun review, and as you can tell it is the Centurion, as you can tell by the name and by this thing standing next to me. Right, we're going to go through all the features of this gun, extras, usual stuff, the usual stuff. Also, this morning we did a NERF day from about 9:30, 10 to about 3:45. Me and Gary both have Centurions, and instead of just talking about features and whatever, we're actually also going to talk about performance from data collected from today. So it's not just blabbing on for about 5 or 10 minutes about a gun, it's also got some data in there that I've experienced along with Gary. Sounds disturbing. Right, the first thing obviously anyone notices about the NERF Mega Blaster that this is its sheer size. Personally, this is a little smaller than I was actually anticipating. I thought it would be at least a little bit taller, but it is still quite hench. It is long, it is big. I mean, the magazine just takes the cake. I mean, that thing is practically the height of my head, which is quite ridiculous. Again, the darts obviously are also very large as well. You can even fit an Elite Streamline in there. I think loads of people have said that already, but I'm going to say it as well. You don't really get any extras with the gun apart from one bipod. It's not a bad bipod. It's not too bad. Although when I was using it to crouch down and do a proper sniper's position, I put a bit too much weight down on the front and it just kind of, and it collapsed a little bit. So the bipod's not bad, but it could be a little better. It could have like a proper lock position instead of being able to go forward as well. So bipod, yeah, so-so. What else do we have? Tactical rails. We have two. We have one obviously along the top and obviously one on the bottom where you put your bipod. That's pretty much about it. There is some assembly required with this gun. You do need to put the barrel extension on the end, and you do need to put the bolt on. If you don't want to use the barrel, there is a safety that you have to remove just down here in the front of the magazine hole, around here somewhere. Okay, around there. If you remove that, you don't need to, because if you don't have the barrel on there, that switch is sticking out. It's in the way, you can't even load the magazine up. So NERF intentionally make you use this barrel extension. Like the long strike makes you use the stock unless you obviously grind down on the insides. So if you remove the safety, you don't have to use the barrel extension. So that again is up to you. Say you've got to put the bolt on, comes in two bits. You've got to put a bit of pressure to get it on there until it gets a nice hard click, and that's in there. So that's pretty much the only assembly. Jam door is in the same location. There's two little holes here on each side. When the jam door is shut completely, you've got a nice green line, which means you're all go here. You've also got your two little primer indicators here on either side for when you prime it back, so you know it's ready to fire. You can see your second green lights, which mean yep, your jam door's shut, you're ready. Your jam door is shut and you're ready to shoot. Stock. Not so bad. Oh, I don't mind. Oh, no. Let's get rid of the bipod. We don't need that. Anyway. Stock's not so bad. It's a little chunky, and a bit hard to sort of bury into the shoulder, and the sights are a little bit weird for me because the stock's a bit too short. So if I'm looking down the sight, I have to get all the way down here with my eye practically right here, and to be honest, that's a little annoying. But other than that, it's not that. It's all right. In a lot of old N-Strike blasters, you used to have to pull the bolt back in order to put the magazine in, which worked in the old long shot and a long strike. This one isn't actually the case. You can just slide this in with the bolt in the forward position, because it's nice and simple. Because when you pull the bolt back, that's the blaster primed. And when you push the bolt forward, it moves the dart into the firing location, ready for the onslaught of power. Speaking of priming, it is quite easy to jam this gun sometimes, depending, because obviously your primer has to come all the way back here from its position here. It's a long priming mag, and I've seen some people that sit there and they get about halfway and think, yep, that's it, then they push it forward, and it goes back halfway, and you're thinking, ah, here we go, oh, wait a minute, it's stuck on, and then, oh, that's good, that one actually fired, but it jams that way quite a bit if you don't pull the primer back far enough, but yeah, that's not a problem. Now they say this thing can hit about 100 feet or 23 meters, depending on what you want to call it. It doesn't hit those ranges, because although the blaster has quite a lot of power, as you can hear from that thing when it goes off, it's a two-stage firing mech. it doesn't hit the meters, because the darts, if you notice, are very thin on the outside rim, whereas the old Elite Streamlines are much more thick, and you can see it's very flimsy, so they're not built very well. They don't really handle the power too much, so the darts are a bit of a letdown for the distances. Having said that, distances are still pretty good. I mean, you can probably get between, I don't know, 55 to 70 feet, give or take, depending on, obviously, if you're shooting with or against the wind. Also helps, because the darts are so light, they can sway left to right, slow down, or speed up, depending obviously wind direction and whatever. Angle, trajectory, usual stuff. So with that, the distances aren't as good as they say they are, unfortunately, but then again, a lot of people say that, and unfortunately it is true. But the distances aren't too bad themselves. So, you know, don't say, oh, well, it doesn't hit the 100 feet, then I'm not interested. You know, it is still a fantastic gun. Lightweight, actually, surprisingly. For a gun this size, thinking it's big, it's gonna be heavy, it really isn't, actually. It's not that heavy at all. It's probably about trying to hold up 2 long strikes in one arm, I think. It's really not that heavy. So yeah, weight is a good thing as well. I'm trying not to forget things here. I'm trying to go through things all in my head. I can't seem to think of anything. Let's give her a 5, shall we? What am I going to shoot? I don't know. Tell you what, I'll move the camera so you can see my back wall. Forgive the lights. I'm afraid I'm losing a light bulb. Let's see. Where are you? Aim for the door. There we go. So I mean, yeah, it's not bad. It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. I would say if you want to buy a Centurion because you want to, by all means go ahead. If you want to buy it for the sake of saying, oh, it's the newest gun, it's absolutely fantastic, you might get a little disappointed. So I'll probably, if you're looking to buy a Centurion for the sake of being a sniper with this thing, by all means get it. It makes a fantastic sniper's rifle. If you're looking to run around shooting people all day, just get yourself a Rampage or something, or a Strife or a Retaliator, things like that. If you're running around and shooting, then the little NERF Elite blasters are fantastic. This one not so much. But if you're lying down, you're sniping someone, if you want to bide your time and wait, this is a great gun. Because me and Gary, again, quick story before I end this, it was just us two against another 9 people. We were to see how many people we could take down before we get killed, and all we were allowed to use was this and a jolt. Jolt obviously being a sidearm, because a sniper will need a sidearm, and especially with a gun this big. If you're sitting there in a bush, you can't swing a gun this long around if you're short for space. So your jolt is your little sidearm. And I must say, out of the 9 people, we took out 5. We did really good. I killed 2, Gary killed 3. I think it was. Yes. And I killed my good friend Matt Black with the jolt. He wasn't best pleased. He wanted to be killed by something manly. Anyway, that pretty much wraps it up. If there's something that I might have missed and you want to know about it, then please send me a message. If you want any kind of information about this gun or any other NERF guns, you want more thorough details about it, then please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know. I pretty much think that's about it. So I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.